Hello everybody and welcome to my very own map in Total War Warhammer. It's called the Big Chief's Camp, and if you've been following me on Twitch over the past few days, you will have got a chance to see me actually making it. I think it took me about 12 to 14 hours to complete, and I had a ton of fun making it. It was really cool being able to do it on Twitch and collaborate with you guys and get your ideas of where I should put things down. So essentially I thought I would just talk through a little bit of the map so far. It's on Steam right now if you want to go download it. I think it has over 1,000 downloads or subscribers so far. People seem to like it, and Ninja Hunt played it on his live stream. I played with him, played against him on the map, and we had a ton of fun. I won once, I lost once, so it seems balanced enough, you know, I can't really complain. And yeah, the more feedback the better, and I could maybe even tune it up a bit more, but I think it's actually one of the more balanced maps in the workshop right now. So it's good for multiplayer, and hopefully I'll get it into campaign eventually as well. So I thought I'd just talk through the idea for the map as well. I do actually have a speed drawing of the map, or speed map creation video, that I just uploaded live with this one as well. So you can check that out. It's basically, yeah, the 14 hours condensed down to about 10 minutes if you want to see how I built the whole thing in one short video. Right, so essentially we've got the kind of dwarven Karak over here in the cliff. The backstory I built for this is the dwarves and the greenskins are at war, and greenskins were encroaching on the dwarves and they were sieging the Karak itself. They pushed all the way in, sieging the Karak itself, and then they found out about the kind of dwarven aqueduct that was coming over here, taking the water from the cliffs and sending it all the way over to the dwarven Karak. Once the greenskins found out about this, they crushed it, destroyed it, cut off their water, and then sieged them, forcing the dwarves to kind of, well, basically cutting them off from water, so the dwarves kind of like had to lose. So what the dwarves did was they decided to cave in their own Karak in a rather sad and, you know, really melancholic way. They caved in their own Karak and destroyed it, basically preventing the greenskins getting in, trapping themselves on the inside. But hope, you know, you never know. We don't know, but they might have made it out. They might have tunneled out the back. Maybe I'll do a continuation to see what happened in that story. But I think it's a pretty cool idea that, yeah, they were just basically destitute, cut off from water, and they had nowhere else to go, so they decided just to destroy their Karak rather than to let the greenskins take it with them inside. Pretty cool map. So the camp, this then forced the greenskins to build outside. Greenskins normally wouldn't do this, but they've built outside, or built an outdoor camp rather than living in the Karak itself, and they've hunkered down on the outsides, putting up these defensive walls and just kind of calling this place their own. As a result, so we've got the different kind of districts for the greenskins. They don't like to live together, so the goblins live over here in the goblin district, fenced in over here. There's a few like huts and things like that. There's actually an archer variant of it up here, where maybe the fanatics or something live up there. And then we've got the savage orc section over here, so it's obviously very smelly. They live in these big, you know, skulls of fallen creatures. They turn them over, they have quarrels amongst themselves, they eat humans. There's piles of bodies and smashed barrels and war machines and things like that down here. Savage orcs are pretty brutal, and they've got their own insignia, as do the goblins. They've got kind of a crooked moon one. Excuse me. So then over here we've got the Black Orcs district, or the Orc Big Ones, kind of the bigger, more organized orcs, and they kind of like organize themselves into these kind of barracks and huts and things. There actually was a dwarven outpost still out here to keep a lookout on the outside of the dwarven Karak, but it has obviously long since fallen to the greenskins, but they weren't able to topple it down. It's actually such an engineering feat that it's just really a tough structure for them to beat through, and instead they just kind of desecrated, painting it with shit, and you know, just painting it in general, and then like hanging up their own signs and just kind of defacing it for their own amusement. And then as well as that, they pull in all the different trophies they can get from their battles, different different dwarven statues and gold things that they pull out of the Karak maybe, and then they kind of ladle them next to their barracks and call each one their own. The biggest orcs are the most proud of the things they have, so they get the big huts. Then lastly we have the kind of giant's lair over here. This is more of like a cave built into this rock that would have been kind of dug out, and this is where the giants live. There's just tons of bones and massive piles of crap outside of it, and they kind of make this like shallow puddle every time they come in and out of the place, because there's a lot of walking going on between that. Then you can see the old kind of road that leads up to the dwarven Karak itself. This would have ran alongside the old aqueduct that I was mentioning earlier, and the water that flows through from outside the caves. Now there is 3 entrances into this map, 3 main entrances. I'm using a debug cam that lets me kind of raise out of the game a little bit normally here. There's one on the west side, there's the south side, and then the east side. And you don't play in these districts, you just play in between the roads, So it is a kind of a tighter knit map, but you can fit 2 units lengthways along here, so it's actually wider than it seems. And we can see some failed attempts of the Empire maybe trying to breach in and get in there, but they just weren't able to. You know, one of their siege towers is literally just impaled up on the spikes here. So essentially then there's actually this fourth way in around the side, and this is all covered in forest, so you can actually get in or get out without being detected if you want to kind of get around and flank into one of these choke points. I'll show you the deployments. The attackers will start out here in this kind of red deployment zone, obviously, and then the defenders are in the yellow one out there. So if I just raise the camera up a bit and tilt it down, we can see that there's actually an almost equal distance between the gate and the deployment zones for each side. Maybe a little bit in the defender's favor, just a tiny tad bit, but then on that side, but on this side then it's actually a bit of a longer run to this one and a longer run to the kind of hill. So that's the idea of the balance for the map. So you probably, the attackers should kind of win more on the right and the defenders should win a bit more on the left, but there are little slight counters you can have to help it out. There's this hill, for instance, that if you do get some artillery or some archer support up on, you can then fire over and down into the kind of choke points a little bit. It's a bit finicky, a bit hard to do because of the wall in the way, but you can do it depending on your artillery piece. If you've got like Bretonian siege equipment, it goes, obviously it lobs over the wall much better, or if you've got Greenskins artillery like Doom Divers and stuff, it's actually awesome. And it does go as far as just about this hill, and then vice versa, if you're on the defender side, you have to make a run for this hill instead of making a run for that hill. You have to make a run for this hill, running up here, and then shooting your artillery off. It's a very conscious decision not to just let people put their artillery down straight away. It has to be that kind of slow push up to it, just to give the defender or the attacker a chance to kind of counter it with, I don't know, bats or whatever they want, flying units, something that can help counter it, the cavalry. So essentially that's the map. My battle with Ninja Hunt on this was really enjoyable, and I'll have a video up in the next couple of days. You know, he won one, I won one, and it seemed fairly even, fairly balanced on that map. So I might do a video on that in the next couple of days. Remember to check out the speed drawing if you want to see how I put this map together. Check it out on Steam if you want to play it for yourself, and eventually I'm hoping to put this in the campaign in some shape or form, whether it be in someone else's mod or my own collection. And that's essentially it. So especially thanks to those who came into the stream and like followed and donated and things like that. Really kept my motivation high to keep going, because 14 hours is a long time to be doing this, although I did enjoy it, so I hope to make another one at some point. If you've got any suggestions, this was the first map I made, so I'm sure the next one will be even better, hopefully. If you've got any suggestions, let me know and I'll see if I can get to it. So thanks for watching, and I'll hope to see you in the next one. See you guys.